Hello, Art Babbers. Hope you're all well. Hope you're healthy and happy. Have you had a good week? My cat's just come to say hello, so you might hear him meowing in a minute. Have you had a good week? Have you been very busy, splashing in puddles when we've had rain and going out looking for rainbows when the sun's been out? Have you? I know we have. It's been lovely. We've also been doing a bit of reading when it's been raining, and we've been reading a book called Cave Baby by Julia Donaldson with pictures by Emily Gravett, and it's got some lovely pictures. It's a story about a little baby who lives in a cave with his mummy and daddy, and they like drawing on the cave walls, and so does he, and he does some wonderful pictures and has some wonderful adventures painting on cave walls. And he uses stripes and spots and splatters and zigzags and wonderful shapes. So we thought, what about doing some painting this week? Well, we thought we wouldn't just stick with paintbrushes like these. We're going to use lots of different things that you can find around the house, and bits of rubbish like toilet paper rolls, and even things you might find outside like pine cones, and we're going to use them to make marks with paint and to make lots of different patterns. Now, we had a play about and made some fancy fish. Look at those fancy fish. They've got beautiful patterns on them, and they look a bit wobbly, don't they? That's because we've cut them up to turn them into a game where you can play match and build different fish using all of these different patterns. And we've got another one here, and they're all different, and you can see we've cut them up into different bits so that you can put them together. Shall I show you how we did it, and maybe you can join in and make some with us? Yeah? Okay. This is what you'll need. First of all, you'll need a cardboard box or some flat cardboard like these. One of these book wrappings is quite good. It's nice thick cardboard, or even a cereal packet would be fine. And then we drew a very simple fish shape. I had my pen, and we drew a tail and went down and maybe drew a little fin. The fin will help our fish to steer. We drew in like this. So we had some cardboard, drew some fish shapes, and with our scissors carefully cut them out, or even cheated and got mummy or daddy or a big person to cut them out for us, because then we can have the fun of painting them all. And if you like, at the same time, you can cut out lots of them, and then you'll have a choice of lots of fish to paint all at the same time. I've got even more fish up here. We've got loads of them, and we've coloured some in with crayons. We painted the back one first and coloured some in with crayons, but I thought we'd have a play with some paints today. So I put this book carefully to one side. It's one thing for Cave Baby to paint his cave. Doesn't mean that we need to help him out, does it? We've got our own painting to do. So I'll do one of these to begin with. Let's do this one here. And I've got my paints. So we need some paints. And these are just different paints that we've mixed already. A nice green there, and a blue, and a bright, pinky red there, and a yellow as well. I've got some purple and blue here too. And I've got a paper plate to mix it on. And a spare one. And then I went around the house finding things to paint with. What could we paint with apart from brushes? We could use our fingers. We could use our fingers and dab the paint on. You'll need to have a cloth to wipe your hands afterwards, or a tissue. We could use toilet rolls, like I showed you before, and you could even cut them in half and get, here we go. Now you've got two shapes, and you can squeeze them into different shapes and use them as well. Here we go. And then we can dab those into paint and daub them on. Got the pine cone. We've got some other packaging things here. These make some interesting shapes. We could use those like brushes, couldn't we? And I've got some string and an old sponge, some corks, and even some straws. And we can blow the paint with those and even wash them out and use them again, so we don't just throw them away. Right, let's see what we've got. So I'm going to start with some green, if I can open it, because some of these are a little bit stiff. So I'll open the green, and I am going to use a paintbrush to put some paint onto the other things. What should I start with? Should we start with a cork? Let's see how the cork does. So I'm going to paint some of this onto the cork. But you can also put some of the green onto the plate and stamp the cork into it. And we can stamp some of the other shapes into it then as well, can't we? Here we go. So you've got some paint on here, and we're going to dab it onto the fish. Dab, dab, dab. Here we go. Oh, those are good dots, aren't they? Those are nice dots. Here we go. Dub, 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 dub. And some more on the tail. One there, and a couple there. And those are our dabs. Still looks a bit empty, doesn't it? You could put some more decoration on than that, I think. Let's have some pink. If I can open it again. Let's have some pink. I'll get a different brush and put some of this onto the plate. We may have the cat making some mark making with this in a minute as well. Not sure about that. Here we are. Oh, that's a good red pink, isn't it? And I'm going to get a tissue in case I need to wipe my hands. There we are. So I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to stick my finger to remember not to scratch my nose afterwards. I'll end up with a pink nose. Here we go. Here we go. Splidge. Splodge. Splodge, splodge, splodge. Splodge, splodge, splodge. Splodge. Whoa, those are good dabs. But they still look a bit like dabs, don't they? I'm going to try and do smudges with them. So I'm going to go smudge and do lines with them. They look a bit different now, don't they? So I've got lots of paint on my fingers and I'm smudging them. Just like that. I'm now surrounded by cats helping me. That's great, isn't it? Right. What else can we use? I've got some scrunched up tin foil here. Now we could scrunch this into any shape we like, couldn't we? And because it's tin foil, it won't hold the paint. It won't be able to absorb the paint and suck the paint in like a sponge. But we could make some interesting marks with it. Let's see. And I could let this dry and go back and do more. So let's see what we've got with this tin foil. It's okay. It gives me some interesting little dabs. Makes it a nice noise though. I could try scratching it. Oh, now that's good. Now it's mixing the paints together. And I've got a bit of yellow and a bit of green and a bit of red smudged together. What else could I do? I'm going to use a fork. I've got a fork here, a little fork. You see, it's a little fork that we use for eating, usually, but I'm going to use it for painting today. And I'm going to put some dark blue, give it a shake, some dark blue onto my fork, and I'm going to scrape it. Oh, this dark blue is very old, it's a bit hard here. I might need to find another colour. Yep, I think we'll find another colour. We'll use the light blue. We'll use the light blue. And I'm going to put a bit of the light blue on my fork. And it's not like a brush, it won't be able to hold on to lots of paint, but it can hold on to just enough to make some marks. And I'm going to draw some stripy lines onto my fish. And I'm going to scratch and scrape onto the fish to make some cool lines. Here we are. I'll do it a bit closer to the camera for you to see. I'll have to put some pictures of these up at the end of this video, I think, for you to see them better. There we go. How's that? Oh, I quite like that. I've got little scratchy, scrapey lines from my fork. Is it finished? What do you think? Does it look finished? I think that might be finished. I quite like that fish like that. I'll put it up here to dry. Balance it up there and hope the cat doesn't go up there. And then I can take another one of my fish and do some different patterns. This time, shall we have a play with the purple? It's a very dark purple. Oh. And I'm going to use my cardboard tube. And I can dab it on the lid of this purple. Just like that. And we'll see what it does to this fish. Oh, it leaves perfect little circles. And I can do them over each other. This would look nice if I'd painted the background of this fish first. It's got a bit of a brown body at the moment. Look at that purple. Did you know that you can make purple by mixing other colours? And also green and orange. So if we mix blue and red, we can make purple. And if we mix yellow and blue, we can make green. And if we mix red and yellow, we can make orange. There we are. Whoop. Sorry, Basil. Always good not to squash the cat. Right. Now, I'm going to do, we've got Clyde up here as well now. I knew one of them would find it. And I'm going to smudge this into the yellow paint here and see if we can get, so it's got a bit of green on it as well. And we'll make some dots on here as well. Why not try doing some swirly dots? Shall we see how they look? Ooh, so you've got the yellow and the purple mixing together, only where we've swirled over them. There we go. I quite like that. Should do a bit of red on it as well, of the red pinky. Whee. There we go. Now I think these paints are too thick. They're too gloopy for me to blow paint with. But if you've got runny paint, you can try dribbling the paint on, or blowing it through a straw, or spattering it with an old toothbrush. There's lots of things you can do. But I quite like my dotty fish and my scrapey, scratchy, dotty fish. Just like that. Now, I'm going to carry on and make a whole shoal. That's what we call lots of fish. A whole shoal of patterned fish. And then I'm going to cut the tail off and cut the head off. So I've got 1, 2, 3 parts for every fish. And then you can play a game. You could make a pile of all of the different fish parts, and you can take it in turns to build your own fish, mixing and matching the patterns. I've stuck these together here so that we can put them on the wall. And we've used sticky tape to put them together. But you could make a whole load of fish and hang them on the wall or use them as a mobile. And you've got some lovely, beautiful patterned fish. And you could even paint both sides. What do you think? I look forward to seeing the things you've done with this session, and I look forward to some photos on the Glyn Vivian website. Have fun, play about with them, give your fish crazy tails or huge great big flippers and fins and big pouty mouths, and have lots of fun with them. You can even put eyes on them as well, so little smiley faces, so they've got some nice personalities. Look forward to seeing them. Have a lovely week until I see you next time. Stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you again. Goodbye out, Babbers. Au revoir.